Okay, kids, another one for you. If your parents are listening in, I guess that's okay, but I'm gonna help you know how to convince your parents to get a dog. Hey guys, got another video just for you. Now, if your parents are listening in, that's probably okay, but this one's for you, okay? Because I know that you really want to get a dog. Now, you might want something else, and this will apply to that too, but here's how you can convince your parents to get you a dog. You need to understand how parents think, because how they're thinking determines their behavior. You got it? So here's how parents think. Now remember, we talked about this in another video. So if you want a review of that, just go right up there, click on that one, and it'll queue it up so that you can watch that next. And you'll remember what we talked about. Here's the quick version. There are 3 stages of maturity. Now, maturity is one of those words that just means how grown up you are, right? How grown up you are determines how much control you get to have. So when you're on this stage 1, you don't get to have very much control. This part down here under the line is how much control you get to have. That part over the line is how much control your parents get to have. Now, your parents get most of the control if you're in stage 1. That's just how it is. Stage 2, it's more balanced. Stage 3, you get to have a whole lot more control than you do at stage 1 or stage 2. Now, let's get another take on this, because control also means how likely is it that you're going to get what you want. So if you want a new dog, which would be so awesome, I love dogs. It would be awesome, right? That's what you want. If you're on stage 1, how likely is it that you're going to get what you want? Not very likely. If you're on stage 2, how likely is it that you're going to get what you want? Oh, more likely. This is looking good. What if you're on stage 3? That's when it's the most likely that you're going to get what you want. Now, you don't always get what you want. Welcome to Earth. But this is the way you have the best chance. Okay? Trust me, I've worked with parents a lot. I know a whole lot about parent psychology. Now, let's review really quickly what those 3 stages look like. Stage 1 is where you are selfish. And it's all about me, me, me. And you whine and you beg and you plead and you manipulate and you try to get what you want in inappropriate ways. Okay? Does it work? Sometimes, huh? Yeah. Sometimes it works, and that's sometimes why we do it. But most of the time it doesn't. It just ticks your parents off, and they get all control freakish on you. Notice that this is true. Okay, stage 2 is where you stop fighting and you start cooperating. Okay, so like when your mom asks you to do something, you're like, okay, and you do it. Or if your dad tells you that he needs to have something done, you're like, okay, Dad, I'll do that. And you cooperate, right? Now, this isn't convenient. It's kind of hard. And immature kids can't do this. So I'm trusting you to be mature enough to give it a try. All right? You're cooperating. You don't want any trouble. You want to keep the peace. So you're going to go along with things. Now, stage 3. This is where it gets really exciting, you guys. Okay? This is where you're mature and responsible. There's a word called initiative that's all about what stage 3 is like. You can read all about it in this book. It's called the Dog Poop Initiative. I'll put a little link down below so that you can find that if you want to. Okay? Initiative is where you see what needs to be done and you do it. Nobody has to ask you. Okay, so what if mom asks you to help out with the dishes? Okay, if you're on stage 1, what are you going to say? No! Why is it always me? What am I, your slave? Nobody else ever has to do anything around here. It's always me. I hope that's not you. But you've seen it before, haven't you? And when your parents see it, how mature do they think you are? Oh, and incidentally, I got to tell you this, okay? You've got to be mature to have a dog. Now, I know your parents have probably told you that too. But I'm on your side, remember? You got to be mature to have a dog. But here's the kicker. It's not so much about how mature you are. Sure, that's important, and I want you to be mature, be over here on stage 3. But the kicker is this. How mature do your parents think you are? Yeah, that's why we got to know some parent psychology. See, knowledge is power. So when you understand how your parents are thinking, then it's going to make a whole lot more sense how you're going to convince them to give you a dog. Because it's not about fighting and arguing and manipulating and whining. That's just going to irritate them. And they'll get all control freakish on you again. It's about how mature they think you are, right? So if you're doing all of this, oh, I don't want to, and I'm your slave, and get out of my hair, and whining and belly aching about everything, they're going to think that you're not very mature, even though you might really be mature enough to have a dog. Do you see what I'm talking about? It's not so much how mature you are. That's important. But it's more about how mature do your parents think you are, because that's going to determine their behavior. Got it? What if mom asks you to do the dishes and you're like, okay. Or you're not even happy about it. Oh, fine. And you're all put out, But you cooperate. You're just not happy about it. How mature is mom going to think you are? Yeah, she'd say, well, not 1 because you're cooperating. But probably maybe a 2. Certainly not a 3 because you still got an attitude. And remember, it's not about how mature you are. That's important, but it's not as important as how mature do your parents think you are. And most parents are not pushovers. They can totally tell if you're faking it. Have you noticed this? And that's kind of irritating and annoying, but they do. It's like they got this sixth sense or something, and they can figure out if you're faking it. If you're faking it, or if they think you're faking it, how mature do they think you are? Right. See, that just takes, even if you're faking stage 3, they think you're less mature. They get all control freakish on you, and you don't get your dog. So you really got to do it. Now, let's look at stage 3. Mom asks you to do the dishes. I know, right now you're probably thinking, what the heck does doing the dishes have to do with getting a dog? Stay with me. It's important. Mom asks you to do the dishes. And you say, oh, sure, Mom. I'd love to help. Okay, that's going to shock her. This is even better. Oh, Mom. Now, you can't lie about this, okay? Oh, Mom, I already did the dishes. Is there anything else, though, that I could help you out with? Okay, meanwhile, she's like losing consciousness because she's like, who are you and what did you do with my kid? This is good because if you're doing things and taking initiative, how mature does Mom think you are? You see? And how likely are you to get what you want? Follow? Yeah, this is brilliant, okay? Because you know parent psychology now. This is going to help you get the dog that you want. Now, here's a couple of other quick pointers. It's hard, okay? I didn't warn you about that, but I need to. It's hard to do this stage 3 thing. Only mature people even really try it, okay? Those less mature kids and stuff, they can't even pull it off yet. Maybe you can, all right? But it's hard. It's going to take some effort, and you might need to practice some things. So here's a couple of tips for you. All right, now remember, this is a way we're going to help mom or dad to think that you're more mature, but we can't fake it. It has to be real. So you're going to volunteer to take care of something that requires a little responsibility. You're going to volunteer. Got it? So you might volunteer, for example, to take out the garbage when it needs to go out. Okay, you with me? Do you know what day your garbage goes out? If you don't, figure it out, because you're not going to wait for Dad to ask you. You're going to know when it goes out. You're going to know how it needs to be done, and you're going to take care of it without being asked. You do this a couple of weeks in a row, something's going to change in your parents' mind. That's what we're going for, okay? So volunteer to do something. Now, what if you're afraid you're going to forget it? Here's where the tips come in. Number 1, find a way to remind yourself. If you wait for your parents to remind you, how mature are they going to think you are? And how likely is it that you're going to get what you want? Right? Who's going to remind you? You know what? I went on a scout camp not too long ago. And as I was leading this group of scouts, we had one of them that volunteered to be the bugler. You know, the guy who wakes up early in the morning, plays his little trumpet to wake everybody up. He came to me the night before and he said, "Oh, will you wake me up in time to blow the bugle?" I asked him, "Who wakes up the bugler?" Think about it. He's got to find a way to get himself up, doesn't he? Because he's in charge of waking everybody else up. This is what I'm talking about. So you find a way to remind yourself. For example, what if you volunteered, not the garbage because that's only once a week, but what if you volunteered to take care of some chore in the house every day? Okay, like wiping down the sink or making sure that everything's put away in the kitchen before you go to bed. Something like that. Take a rock. Find a rock about the size that would fit in your hand like this and put it in your bed. Now, why would you do that? Because when you hop into bed after your day's all done, and you hop in there, you're going to hit this rock, right? And then you're going to be like, why is there a rock in my bed? Because usually there's not. And then your mind is going to remind, oh yeah, there was that thing that I volunteered to do, and I'm going to remind myself. The rock just reminded you. Do you see what I'm talking about? Another thing that's really easy, just write a note, like on one of those Post-it notes, that sticks to things. Put it somewhere you're going to be sure to see it. Like on your shoes. What if it's something you volunteered to do every morning? Like make your bed, clean up your room. I know, doesn't sound like it's about a dog, but it is in Mom's mind. Got it? Yeah, so you put a note on your shoes. And before you put your shoes on, you're like, whoa, there's a note on my shoes. I can't get my foot in there. Oh yeah, I volunteered to take care of something. This is so important because parents are thinking, when you want a dog, they're thinking, yeah, who's going to take care of this dog? It's probably going to be me because I have to take care of everything because my kid's not mature enough. Do you see? This thing you're volunteering to do has everything to do with you getting a job because you're convincing mom or dad that you are mature enough to actually handle it. And it's not going to happen fast. You got to do this consistently for a while. Okay? And do it a little longer than you think you want to. It might be weeks. Okay? But check it out. What if you don't do it? Then you're no better off in a month than you are right now. Give it a try. Practice it. Establish some good habits. Be mature and convince your parents that you're mature. And then you have a better likelihood of getting what you want. Wow, parent psychology, it's a good thing to know, isn't it? And parents, I hope you got something from this too. If you like this video, please share.